Hi, this is Greg with Engaging Teacher. I'm starting a new TpT store, and guiding me through the process will be Rebecca. She started her TpT store over 5 years ago and has agreed to answer my questions and share her experiences running an online business.
In the last video, we talked about making covers. This time, I want to make sure that I'm taking all these great covers I make and then using them to help me advertise or put it out on Pinterest. Can you show me what I should be thinking about and how to do that?
All right, so let's take a look at your product here. If you notice over here, it says share this resource, and you've got some options.
Okay.
You can actually click right here on the Pinterest button, and then you can choose the pin to save.
All right.
And let's pull this down. All right, and we are going to choose to save it to your board.
Okay.
It says it's saved. Let's take a look at it now. So this is what it looks like. It's the square cover.
Okay.
Now on your page, let's take a look at your pins. You can see here, it's cute.
Mm-hmm.
It's catching. It does what it needs to do. It brings over the wording straight from TpT, so keep that in mind.
Okay.
So as long as you like your first few lines of your snippet, that would work.
But it may not be the best information to give somebody if they're not at your store, depending on how you wrote it up.
And remember that Pinterest only allows X amount of characters. So this is all they see. And it cuts off right there.
Okay.
Because TpT allows you a big, long description, right?
Right.
But Pinterest only gives you, I think, 500 characters.
Okay.
So this is why you want to consider, is this the best description for this platform?
Okay.
Okay.
So what would you recommend? Like, what's the next step to use this cool cover in a pin?
Okay. So, and another thing that I wanted you to take a look at was, you notice it's square and it's cute, but as we're scrolling through, it doesn't take up the same amount of real estate as a 2:3 ratio pin.
Oh yeah, it's smaller. Okay.
It's smaller. And so a big thing is when people, especially when they're scrolling on their phone, like they've missed it.
Gotcha.
Like it's gone. Now, it doesn't mean you can't do it, and if you want to get it out there and noticed right away, that's totally fine. One thing you can also do is just keep some descriptions handy so that you can easily come in here and change the note.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, so you could definitely do that. It's not going to hurt anything, but you may want to go and do the extra step of actually creating a pin that is the proper ratio.
Okay.
Okay. Now, that doesn't mean you have to recreate the wheel. So if you remember, let me go to our last video. We did our mock-ups for our covers, and our mock-ups were just where things would be. So you have all of these components. You can absolutely use these same components in your pin. You're just going to have to play with where you put things, maybe the sizing of some things, just because we're going to take this and make it a 2:3 ratio. Okay. So in here, and I would definitely recommend creating an entirely separate file.
All right.
Okay, and you're going to name it with your pins. So again, it's the same components that we used before. It's just moving things around and playing with the sizes. I use the same font type. I use the same number of things, clip art. It's just resizing it to make it make sense for this size.
Okay, for the 2:3 ratio.
And so again, it's going to be all of the same ideas that we talked about for the covers. You want to make sure that you have a picture of the product, that you have the features and the title and your logo. There's so many different things that you can do. Again, we talked about last time, let's use this one as an example. For those people that did not watch the last video, what do you notice about this picture?
It doesn't all fit on that slide.
So if we look at, let's go to slideshow, current slide. So if we look at it, it doesn't all fit on that. So you don't see the entire product. That serves two different purposes. One is it gives the customer a really good, crisp detail picture of what's included. And then also they can't take that and use your product. Okay. So don't be afraid to make it big and to go off. Just always go to slideshow and view the current slide to see what it's going to look like.
Okay.
Okay. So all of this is just playing with it. Some things that you don't want to do, these are very similar to what you don't want to do for your covers. So if we look at this, the title of the product is really small, and it's in that cursive font that is hard to read, especially when you're on a phone.
And you're scrolling through
And
real
you're
quick.
scrolling. So again, you know, looking at my phone, I'm not going to know, but look at that. I can see what that is.
Right.
Compare the two.
Yep.
Okay?
Okay.
So, and then another thing is, even, let's use that same instance. I'm looking at that. I don't know what those products are. I know what that product is.
Right, because you're
Okay.
just one big clear shot of what you're really promoting in that pin.
And this one is more likely to get me to click through because I want to know what else is there.
Gotcha.
Right? Especially if the features are listed and it can tell me, oh, there's 85 pages. I'm like, ooh, 85 pages of that? Let me go look.
Okay.
Versus, sure, there's 85 pages, but oh my gosh.
They're all right there.
Now you're overwhelming me.
Gotcha.
Again, make sure that your clip art is sized correctly. A lot of people, when they do the pins, like they'll make it really small, and it's just not in proportion to the size of the pen.
Okay.
The logo, again, make sure it's in proportion, so you don't want to have some giant logo in there. Again, you're not Nike.
Right.
Make sure that your font is very legible. So even here, I used cursive, right? But it's big and it's one thing and it's just to draw attention to it.
It's just one word. Okay.
Exactly. Now this one, I might not even use this font. It's super cute and it's great for like the titles, but it might be kind of hard to read from far away, so you might want to go with something that's even more straight up and down.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
All right, so the picture of the product could be the cover you already created and put that in there as your picture of product and then design everything else around it.
Yeah, this is exactly what you had in your cover. It's just bigger and arranged slightly different.
Okay, and that's based, so it's the same idea, the same design, but translating it to Pinterest so more people will see it and it'll work better on Pinterest, probably.
Probably.
Okay, great. All right. Well, thank you very much.
My pleasure.